welcome back. It is the Vegas Take Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us on a Thursday. Tomorrow, by the way, I'm taking the day off, but Chris Wynn will be filling in my chair, and JD will still be here in studio. All right, so it's been a fun couple days, right? We had Michael Avenatti in studio yesterday. We just had adult film star Rochelle Ryan in studio as well. And now, Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. Mike Babcock is the cleanup batter. Mike, thanks so much for coming on. How are you?
You always have hard guests to follow. You make it tough on me.
Well, Rochelle has been on TMZ before. She told me she loves you guys over there.
Yeah, I believe she has.
Yeah. All right. So I want to start off by talking about Julian Castro. Okay, we were talking a little bit about him earlier in the show, the fact that he doesn't speak hardly a lick of Spanish, and he's, but that's more of a political discussion. But this is sort of too, because you guys have a story up there on TMZ. He told you guys, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he's going to make athletes love the White House again. Talk to me a little bit about that.
That's on his agenda. That's one of his issues that he wants to fix. Now, granted, he had a big debate night, and he told our cameraman that he stayed up all night, so he hadn't gotten a lot of sleep. So, I don't know that it's his most important thing. I don't know that it's the number one issue that he wants to solve, but he said that, listen, I worked for President Obama, and I saw a lot of athletes, a lot of NBA teams come to the White House and really enjoy themselves when they were at the White House, and I'm not seeing that so much anymore with President Trump. So he wants to change that. So, yes, that is one of the things that Julian Castro, should he be elected, however unlikely that is, that he would like to fix.
That's a big deal. I mean, there's at least 12 players on every single NBA team. He's looking at probably 330 votes. That could go a long way.
Do you have an update, by the way, on the Toronto Raptors and any chance that those guys are going to be going to the White House? What's the deal there?
No, it still stands where it was, I think, last week when we talked about it, where they were going to see the Prime Minister of Canada, and Trump was still deciding whether or not he was going to extend an invitation to them. I think what he means by waiting, obviously, is to see if they indicate that they would come visit should he extend the invitation. But, no word yet on whether or not they're going to come. If the past is any indicator of the future, we haven't seen the NBA teams go. So I would imagine that they wouldn't go, but, hey, we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on and talk a little hoops here quickly with Klay Thompson. Now, we all know the injury that he sustained in the NBA Finals. It sucked because I had some money on Golden State in that game. I just care about myself. I don't care about the injury. I just care about the fact that I lost money. But anyway, yeah, of course. That's another story for another show. But this is kind of cool, though, in a way. I mean, it's sad that he was on crutches, but you guys have pictures of Klay Thompson showing up on the Space Jam 2 set hugging LeBron James. This is a really cool story. Talk to me a little bit about this.
Yeah, very cool. LeBron, obviously the star of the movie, and we knew that Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson was supposed to be in the movie, but then when 2 weeks ago he tears his ACL, it's a devastating injury, and you thought that he might not be able to still participate in the movie, but they started filming this week, and they were right over here at the USC gym, right by our office. And we got some photos and we got some video, and, all the guys were there. But one of the cool things was that Klay Thompson was there. He had a crutch, so, he wasn't walking around playing basketball or anything. But it at least looks like, even if they have to rewrite the movie some, that he will actually still get to be in the movie, which is a cool thing. Space Jam was a big deal. That's 20-something years ago already, and people have been waiting for this Space Jam 2 movie to come out. So I'm sure he wants to be in it, and pretty cool that he still gets to participate, even though he did, have the ACL tear.
And you guys have a lot of NBA stories out there. I want to talk a little bit about this one because, of course, Chris Paul and we all know Chris Paul and James Harden have had a lot of drama. The Houston Rockets, I don't think Mike D'Antoni lasts another year. After this year, I think he's gone. Who knows? There's a lot of drama going on with that Houston Rockets organization, but this is kind of cool. You guys have some pictures. Apparently, Chris Paul kind of staying away from that drama, hanging out with Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick. This is really cool.
Yeah, so they didn't go down there together. They were in Nassau at like a fancy casino, and they were in the high rollers table. Just happened by chance to run into each other, and it was Chris Paul and his buddies and Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick. They saw each other, and they hung out for about an hour. Unclear what they talked about, but they did spend some time kind of hanging out with each other in the high rollers table at fancy casino in the Bahamas.
That's kind of cool. I kind of think that's cool that those guys just happen.
I don't know, for some reason, I like when the guys from different sports, like the superstars, interact with each other. I don't know why I like it, but I just like it.
It's kind of cool, right?
They know each other, and they're cool, and they're friendly. Yeah,
and isn't it true, because you would know this more than me, but some of these big-time celebrities even say that it's a little awkward when they meet other big-time celebrities, that they feel a little awkward and they feel a little nervous. I mean, that's what some of them say, right?
Yeah. Right. No, absolutely. A lot of them say that, because I think in a way you still get starstruck yourself, because you're watching these guys on TV, and it's even cool for these guys who are famous and rich and all that stuff to see other guys that they watch on TV. So it's funny, you wouldn't think, you're like, oh, hey, James Harden and not James Harden, Chris Paul and Aaron Rodgers are both rich and famous, that they wouldn't care. But I think they do think it's cool to kind of interact with each other.
No doubt. If you're just joining us, Mike Babcock, TMZ Sports. He joins us every Thursday. So this made huge national news, Mike, and you guys covered this story about this Colorado baseball brawl. You got this youth baseball game, and all these buffoons, these parents are out there throwing punches at one another. There were some arrests that were made, but I think you guys put up an update today on more arrests that were made. Apparently, the cops have arrested more people, including a teenager. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, now there's a 16-year-old kid who cops have cited for disorderly conduct, including the 16-year-old. That makes 12 people in total. And it's in large part because of these videos that have come out, not crediting TMZ, but, just these videos that have surfaced. There was only 5 people who were initially cited. And, a couple of weeks goes by, these videos come to light, and the police have been watching these things, and they've been able to identify and then track down 12 of these people and cite them, which I'm thankful for. I mean, I thought that was crazy. I think, all of us who have played youth sports, maybe you've seen, minor incidences, or you've seen
absolutely
parents,
yep.
right? But I mean, at least me, guys, I've never seen anything like this before. The level, the degree of that fight, so many people involved and people with bats in their hands. Man, that was scary. And to think that these are 7-year-old little kids who were running in the background scared, that was a sad sight to see. That's like the opposite of what youth sports is supposed to be, right?
I couldn't agree with you more, and I've been a part-time basketball official for years, and I stopped doing it because of that reason. That was the main reason. Mike, you guys do such a great job over there, my man. Thank you so much. By the way, we had Michael Avenatti in studio yesterday. I guess he's friends with Harvey, so he wanted to give his regards to Harvey. I said, we got Mike Babcock on the show tomorrow. I guess they're buddies.
I don't know if they're buddies, enemies, a little of both, but I'll tell Harvey he said hello.
I will. JD, you got something going?
Yeah, Mike, what do you think's going to happen in free agency with, I want the destinations, in your opinion, of Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving?
I'm feeling Kyrie and KD to Brooklyn now, and let's say, I'm so 50-50 on if Kawhi stays in Toronto or goes to the Clippers, but let's say he stays in Toronto.
Ooh.
That's what I'm guessing. What do you think?
I think Kyrie might end up a Laker now that they've got the max option and LeBron refuses.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, that changes things.
It does.
Right, that is definitely a kind of a wrench into the whole plan. But I've just heard Brooklyn from so many people.
Oh, so have I.
Kyrie, Right, but that was before today, when obviously they free up that extra max slot. So,
yeah.
So now
I'm excited. I love the free agency time.
Oh, it's great.
It's so fun.
They have 3 players on roster right now in LA, so that's really good. But after Durant and the Warriors situation, where the Warriors training staff actually basically lied to him, and this has been a consistent thing that's been taking place, I think he ends up on the East Coast. I think Kawhi, because he wants to kind of take over LA. He's from LA. He wants to take over LA and not the bandwagon Lakers team, but as a Clipper, I think he ends up with the LA Clippers.
The only thing is, I'd say, as a guy from Southern California and Kawhi Leonard, and keep in mind, I'm a guy from New Jersey, so I lived here for like 6 years now, but this town is so heavily a Lakers town.
Right.
Even if the Clippers won the title next year,
wouldn't even matter.
It's still a Lakers town, and they can do it the year after that. I mean, they would have so much work to do. It's just the same thing like, the Yankees in New York. I mean, it is not even close the amount of people who like the Lakers as opposed to the Clippers. So he'd have a lot of work to do. But hey, look, if anybody could do it, look what Kawhi did in Toronto. So who knows? But yeah, man, I know the Clippers want him bad. There's billboards up here and everything. So it's so clear that the fans that they do have want him badly.
All right, Mr. Babcock, thank you so much. We'll catch you up with you next week. Have a great weekend, my friend. Always appreciate your time.
Thanks, fellas. We'll talk then.
All right, there you
Thanks
go.
a lot, Mikey.
Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. He joins us every Thursday. Always fun to catch up with Mr. Babcock. We're talking a little bit about that baseball brawl. JD, have you seen that? The video of that in Colorado where these parents are whipping the crap out of each other, and you got kids on the field, teenagers involved. And I bring up the fact that, I've been a basketball official part-time just for fun because I love basketball. Make a few bucks, but I enjoy the exercise. It keeps me around the game. Basketball's always been a passion of mine, and I've enjoyed it. But one of the main reasons why I stopped doing it is because of the parents, not because of the kids, because of coaches and parents. Horrendous sportsmanship. And these parents are, I'm telling you, they're just getting worse and worse and worse. We've seen situations on soccer fields and in football situations where some of these officials are getting physically assaulted. One soccer referee died several years back. It's getting out of control. It's getting out of control, and it's only
I think
worse.
a lot of these parents are trying to live vicariously through their kids. I think there's a lot more competition.
Well,
now
I think that has a lot
with
to do with
social
it,
media, with Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. And how old are these kids? You said they were 7 years old?
Some of these kids are a little older than that, but yeah.
Like 10, 9? I mean, like Coach Pitch?
I mean, they were a little older than that.
Were they pitching themselves, or was a coach?
No, they were pitching. They were pitching. Yeah,
themselves.
but regardless whether you're 8, 9, or 12 or 15, I mean, you're a parent. You have to show some sense of. You have to be able to contain your emotions a little bit and set an example for the kids that are out there. I mean, it is absolutely unsettling to see that video, but this is stuff that is happening throughout the country. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're a parent that is even screaming obscenities, let alone throwing punches, if you're screaming get out of there. When I was a referee, I just didn't put up with that. I threw parents out. I didn't care. If you want to wait for me outside and you want to go to jail, and fine. But there should be no place for that, no matter how bad the officiating is, no matter how bad the umpiring is.
I actually think they should start serving liquor in the concession stands.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
5 to 10-year-old kids games.
Yeah,
I think that would be outstanding.
That'd be a wonderful idea. That'd be great.
That would cut down on all those problems.
So I know you guys tomorrow, you and Chris Wynn, are going to be talking a lot about the debate tonight, but certainly a big headline in this debate. And I kind of like this about Kamala Harris. And I'm not a huge Kamala Harris fan.
She is borderline radical.
Well, you know what? She's going after Joe Biden tonight in regards to working with segregationists. And I think Joe Biden made a huge blunder several days back with the term boy. And then Booker goes after him. And then, if you recall, Joe Biden said Booker should apologize. I thought he handled that situation the wrong way. I'll tell you something about Kamala Harris, though. She's not afraid to get into it with anybody. She's feisty. And I tell you what, I think I have a lot more respect for her than I do any of the Democrats that were on the stage last night. I would rather have Kamala Harris than Elizabeth Warren. I think Kamala Harris got some guts. And nothing against Elizabeth Warren. I don't think she's obviously a very intelligent woman. But
I think Trump has a much more difficult time against Kamala Harris than Biden or Warren or anybody.
Listen, Kamala Harris. I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I'm going to say something that probably a lot of people are going to disagree with. I actually believe that Kamala Harris would have just as good a chance of getting Donald Trump, as good a chance. I'm not saying better. She would have just as good a chance as getting Donald Trump as Joe Biden would right now.
I would say better. I think that long term, she's much more eloquent and articulate. She's very, very smart. She's a woman. She's African American. So I think she would have I think she is the Democrats' best shot by far at this point. At least in 2020.
I believe if Joe Biden, because I still believe Joe Biden's going to win on the Democratic side, and he's going to be the one that's going to be going against Trump. I just don't see that changing. I do believe if he picks Kamala Harris as his vice president, I will give him a chance to beat Donald Trump. I think that would be a very, very wise decision. Now they've been going at it tonight, and obviously we haven't been able to watch it. I would imagine a lot of people are, but
when's the last time two people have gone after each other and one of them took the other one?
It happens all the time.
It does?
Yeah, it happens all the time. It happens. Happens all the time. It's happened in our history plenty of times. I mean, all I know is what happened last night was a disgrace. You should never speak Spanish and use that as a tool, as a political ploy to get votes. And I believe that's exactly what happened on the stage last night. It's ridiculous. And Biden said tonight, quote, when Kamala Harris went after him in regards to segregationists, Biden said, quote, I do not praise racists. Biden said his comments on segregationist senators were mischaracterized. But even if they were mischaracterized, you have to apologize. You have to say, look, if I said something that might have offended someone, I apologize. And that's not something that Joe Biden really does. He's not willing to apologize.
You just can't use the term boy in 2019.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
It's not smart, right? Kamala Harris told Joe Biden, quote, I do not believe you are a racist, but comments were hurtful. I kind of agree with her on that. I agree with her on that. I think it did hurt a lot of people. Pete Buttigieg in this debate tonight said that the South Bend police force isn't diverse because he couldn't get it done. He admitted it. Now, I give him credit for that. Now, why he couldn't get it done, I don't know. Don't know why he couldn't get it done.
And humility is definitely something that the American public has not dealt with very much in the last 2 years.
I'll tell you something that the Trump administration's getting a lot of flack for, and they deserve it, is the separation of children. Pete Buttigieg brought that up tonight.
Have you seen the stats, man?
What about them? What about the stats? What about it?
In Obama's tenure, there was 3 times as many immigrants killed crossing the border.
Okay, so let's just say that's 100% true.
How is that?
How is that going to help the kids right now? We shouldn't be talking about Barack Obama. We shouldn't be talking about
a microscope is being put on this situation. Obviously, it needs to be better. And,
whether
it's like it's an easy fix. You put a barracks there. It makes more sense for the wall. You treat it like a military situation. Not difficult. But a lot of immigrants were dying trying to cross into the United States when Obama was president.
And I understand that.
And a lot more than are dying now.
But here's my problem with that argument. Whether that's true or not, it's not going to do those kids that are in custody right now any good to blame past administrations. Right now, it's kind of like when I criticize Donald Trump all the time. People want to call up and talk about Hillary Clinton and the dossier and the emails. That's not going to do anything right now. That is in the past. Barack Obama's administration, his tenure as president is over with. That is not going to help the kids that are in custody right now, and something needs to be done to take care of these kids. And it's not going to work by criticizing other administrations. It's just not going to work. We'll take a couple calls on this. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. At 257-5396. Again, the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702-257-5396. I'd like to know if you've been watching this debate tonight, what do you think about these interactions between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? What do you think about this debate tonight as compared to last night? Because, look, these are the heavy hitters on the Democratic side tonight. Last night, there was nobody on the stage, in my opinion, that has a chance to compete with Donald Trump and to win. No chance. What do you think about these men and women that are on the stage tonight? What do you think about Joe Biden? What do you think about Kamala Harris? Do you think she's right for going after Joe Biden for the work with segregationists? What do you think about that? Give us a buzz. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the show, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396. What I'm trying to figure out, why is Eric Swalwell wearing this orange ribbon? It looks kind of a little weird. I don't know what that's all about. He's got this weird orange ribbon that he's wearing. I guess there's probably a good reason for it. I have no idea, but it just looks a little weird. That's all. Swalwell told Biden earlier today that he needs to pass the torch, and Swalwell also made some comments about how it's kind of a cheap shot to Joe Biden's age, which I thought maybe was a little bit inappropriate. Swalwell said that you should have to live with the consequences of your actions. A lot of people are saying that he was referring to Joe Biden's age. I don't know if that's the truth or not. Joe Biden's not a young man.
What is he, 72, 73?
He's up there. He's not a young man.
I don't think he was implying that Joe Biden's about to die. I don't think he was doing that. If
Who
he
do you
was,
think,
that's ridiculous.
Who do you think got the first question of the night?
Kamala Harris?
No, Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
About taxes on the middle class. Bernie Sanders got the first question tonight. So you've got some older men up there. Bernie Sanders, not exactly a young puppy, neither is Joe Biden. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but I remember when John McCain was running for president, a lot of people were questioning that because of who he picked for vice president, Sarah Palin. Can you imagine if Sarah Palin was the president?
And there's a legitimate reason to question somebody based on their age, because right now with social media, with how much attention is being brought to everything so quickly through so many different outlets, it requires a lot of energy at all times to be competitive, to push your message consistently. And if you're 73 or 75 years old and you're in ill health, it's very difficult to do that. And if you've got someone that's 48 or 52 or 55 even, they have a major advantage. So I understand where they're coming from when they're talking about age.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, there's really nobody on the Democratic side that I just jump up and say, man, that would be a great president.
No.
I just don't. And we all know how I feel about Donald Trump.
What I want to see The Rock declare for presidency.
No, you don't.
In a month.
No, you don't.
I do. He's got 120 million Instagram followers. Everybody,
I don't care.
Nobody doesn't like. What I'm saying is,
I don't care how many Instagram followers he has.
It's not the fact that I want to see him the president. I want to prove how impressionable the United States public is right now, and how valuable.
I don't think it's
social media
impressionable.
profile. Absolutely.
I think it's. I don't think it shows that. I think it shows how stupid people are.
That's what I'm saying. Impressionable.
Yeah.
If The Rock declared for presidency and ran for the DNC, he would get second or third, even right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess O.J. Simpson just took to Twitter, and Ken Thompson's in studio here, and he just showed me O.J. Simpson's tweet. I guess when was this? When did this tweet go out? O.J. Simpson just tweeted out, "Thanks to all my new followers, love learning how to use Twitter." And then there's a picture underneath it with O.J. in the Ford Bronco in the chase, and it's a comment from somebody named Hester that says, "Don't forget about your old followers." And it's a picture of the white Ford Bronco, and you've got like 20 police cars behind the Bronco. You remember, it's the chase. I just think that is hilarious. That is, let me tell you something. OJ should respond to that. I'm not sure what that has to do with the Democratic debate tonight, but OJ should respond to that. Come on, that deserves a response. That's really funny. That's really, really funny. Well, I'm going to ask OJ if OJ's listening. OJ, what do you think about the Democratic debate tonight? You think OJ's watching the debate tonight? You think OJ's political? What do you think? Who do you think OJ would vote for president? Probably Kamala Harris. Who do you think OJ would support? Certainly not Donald Trump. Or maybe OJ is a Trump supporter. I don't know.
You don't really know.
I mean, one thing OJ and Donald Trump do have in common is they're both liars.
I wouldn't be shocked if he supported Trump. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
I mean,
yeah, Kamala Harris makes sense too.
O.J. Simpson and Donald Trump have a lot in common. They're both egomaniacs.
I can guarantee they know each other.
They're both egomaniacs. They never apologize for anything. They're liars. I don't think Donald Trump has ever been accused of murdering somebody before, but certainly abusing women.
Hillary Clinton certainly has.
Of murdering somebody?
Murdering.
Okay, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Benghazi? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Seth Rich, Benghazi, a number of different things.
Okay,
that she was supposedly, and her family and her foundation
I'm not going to go there.
Were supposedly attached to.
Okay, well, I'm not going to accuse the Clintons of murdering anybody because I don't think that's true. I don't think there's enough evidence to support that. And if there was, I think they would be in jail because there are a lot of people that do not like the Clintons, just like there's a lot of people that do not like Donald Trump. So if there was collusion, we would have found out. God, the fact that Robert Mueller is going to be testifying in mid-July, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Now, it's probably going to suck because all he's going to do is he's going to read quotes from the Mueller report. He's probably not going to give any great information, but it's still going to be fun to watch, though, to see the Democrats just bombard him with questions. It's going to be fun. I got to be honest with you. When Kavanaugh, that scumbag, yes, I do think Kavanaugh's a scumbag, by the way. When they were going after Kavanaugh, I thought that was great. It was fun to watch him cry and then talk about his love for beer and how he's never been drunk before and, he's never blacked out. That was fun to watch. I enjoyed watching Democrats attack that guy because I think he's a scumbag. I do.
I like for how on the show for about a month after that, I just randomly said, I like beer. At least twice a week.
Kavanaugh. What a jerk. And by the way, we had Michael Avenatti on the show yesterday.
Hey, so do you think someone actually debates him at some point? Do you think someone steps up to the plate?
Debates Avenatti?
Yeah, a Whitlock or a Shapiro, a Ben Shapiro.
We'll get somebody like that.
I honestly think that Ben Shapiro is going to eventually do something with this.
Well, the problem with Ben Shapiro is that, look, he's an extremely intelligent guy, but he flies around in his private jets and he gets paid a lot of money to debate people and make speeches. I don't think the guy always talks about my time is worth this, my time is worth that. Ben, why don't you take 20 minutes out of your time?
How much time is he taking when he goes out of his way to make a tweet about Michael Avenatti and tags 5 people in it, or attaches a GIF file to it?
That's what I'm saying. You are a coward.
It's opportunity cost.
If you go on Twitter, that's one thing you can't deny about Michael Avenatti. Whoever he attacks on Twitter, he's willing to debate.
He's a fighter.
You can't,
and he's fully capable of debating. I mean, he is extremely talented.
And so is Ben Shapiro.
That's why I think it's going to take place. I think
it would be phenomenal.
With enough push, Ben's going to say, hey, I can't just keep backing down to this guy. Or he has to stop reaching out to him.
You can't make the argument, oh, he's not relevant. What do I get out of this? Then why are you tweeting out about him? And by the way, he is still relevant.
Why is 80% of the Republican Party, including the President of the United States' son, tweeting about this guy?
In the last week, Don Jr. has tweeted about Michael Avenatti. Ben Shapiro has tweeted about Michael Avenatti. Scott Baio, nobody cares about him. I don't even know why I mentioned his name. He's irrelevant. That guy's actually irrelevant. But Meghan McCain tweeted, in regards to Michael Avenatti. Alyssa Milano, all these people. So why? If he's so irrelevant, why do they constantly keep bringing up his name?
I think he's kind of the doormat of the party right now, and they're all kind of taking their shots at him. And usually the person backs down, but Avenatti just does not care, and he responds promptly and efficiently and effectively.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go home. I'm going to cook up a nice steak, and I'm going to watch this debate, and I'm going to enjoy it. And we're gonna watch Creepy Joe and Kamala Harris go at it.
You have steak at home?
I do. Yeah. So we're gonna. You can't come over.
You can grill? You know how to grill?
No, I'm gonna put it in the microwave. It's leftovers from last night with Michael Avenatti.
That is the worst thing I've heard on radio in my entire life.
Well, we're gonna
a steak in the microwave.
We're gonna take a 22-hour break. I'll talk to you. Actually, I won't be here tomorrow. Chris Wynn is filling in for myself. JD will be here, and they'll have Jamison Welsh from Drive Time Sports as well. So. Thanks for joining us, everybody. The legend himself, Ken Thompson, coming up next.